there, this is Al. Today, we're looking at grass Pokemon. We're talking about them. We're talking about the new Mega Venusaur deck coming. Mega Pokemon are coming with the release of, the next set. They're already out in Japan, and Japan has been, having their local tournaments and things with it, and we're going to be looking at some of the stuff coming out of there. And I want to focus on the grass. So I also want to focus on the question of, grass decks and the strength they are getting with these new cards coming out in the next set. So Mega Venusaur is talk of the town of one of the megas that are actually strong, and one of the decks coming out of the new set that is going to be, a contender, I think. Because Mega Venusaur, first off, is humongous. It's 380 HP. That's a lot of HP. It is a stage 2, of course, and it is a Mega that gives out 3 prizes when knocked out. At the end of the day, it's still huge, and we have some tools, actually. Like, Wally's Compassion, being able to, heal all damage from it to keep this huge Pokemon still huge and intact. And if you slap a Hero's Cape onto it, you can make that thing 480. That's huge. And if you have a 480 Pokemon tanking damage, and then, if you're able to heal all that damage with Wally, it's really powerful. And that is one build for Mega Venusaur as a deck. And another partner for Mega Venusaur is gonna be Teal Mask Ogerpon, of course. So Mega Venusaur's Solar Trance ability is gonna let you move around energy, one energy at a time, move it around your Pokemon. I really like the different ways you can go about moving energy and stuff with it, because I really enjoy that flexibility. And with the Jungle Dump attack, too, I really like that, it only does 240 damage, and it is a large cost at 4 grass energy, but, this thing is able to also heal when you do the attack. It's healing 30, and this thing is not, restricted in a way like Mega Lucario is, where you can only do his Mega Brave attack, and then there's, a cooldown, where you have to switch him to the bench to the active to use it again on that same Pokemon, or you have to switch him and use a different attacker, because you can't consecutively use the move. Now, with the Jungle Dump attack, it doesn't have that restriction, which is why I think it's pretty good. Another reason this deck is kind of rising and is decent is because there is a sneaky option with Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur has this Bind Down attack that lets you stop your opponent's Pokemon from retreating. So having this little Bulbasaur can make it so that you can slow down your opponent by trapping a Pokemon there. You can, even against the Raging Bolt matchup, you can maybe trap a Pheasantipity up there. You can trap Pokemon that aren't ideal for being in that active spot and just kind of buy time, buy a turn, or you can just kind of prepare to set up another attack and stuff going on. So the Bulbasaur is very nice. Now, the one thing with the Bulbasaur too, though, in certain deck lists that we're seeing, because right now, early on, it is this deck building period where people are still trying to find the best build. You can't use Buddy Buddy Poffin for this Bulbasaur, because the Bulbasaur from the set is 80 HP, which is not within that Buddy Poffin 70 HP threshold. Now, the one thing, if you do want to maybe build around Buddy Buddy Poffin still, you can use a different Bulbasaur, one that has 70 HP, and we actually have that in the 151 set. So I have seen that before, a deck list where it is using the small 70 HP Bulbasaur, and then the Venusaur, but then also about 3, maybe 4 Ogerpon, and then just a Fez, and that's about all the Pokemon you need for the deck. And then you have a lot of support, and I should say, in the set and the deck, not just from Wally and stuff, but we also have, of course, the big new Grass Stadium card coming that is going to be our Vitality Forest. This thing is going to be allowing you to evolve and evolve just so fast. With the quick evolution happening, that is really nice. And it was on an old card. The same effect was also seen on another older card and stuff. And so it's really nice to see this back. And it's a powerful effect, because, being able to evolve quickly into Ivysaur and Venusaur is going to be really good for a Stage 2 deck, and that's going to really help it. Now, other support for this Pokemon, one that I actually don't see in most deck lists that kind of caught my eye, is this little Celebi, just because this Celebi it has its first attack for just 1 grass energy, and you can use it to go ahead and find up to 3 in any combination of, grass Pokemon, and a stadium. So this is built so you can find your grass Pokemon, like, you know, your Bulbasaur, your Ivysaur, your Venusaur for the upcoming turn, and you can also find your Vitality Stadium, because finding the stadium is going to be important if you want to go fast, if you want to, like, have a decent speed going on, and you don't want to focus on rare candy. That's the other thing, is that even though this is a huge Stage 2 Pokemon, you don't really have to worry about rare candy, evolution stuff, and finding that stuff, because you have a stadium. Now, you still have to find the stadium and stuff, of course, but, like, once you do, if you have, like, 3 or 4 of them, it's not that hard to find, and it's really nice. I mean, you can also, and because you're playing Ogerpon most likely, because Ogerpon has a phenomenal ability, as you know, like the Teal Dance, letting you go ahead and attach a grass energy from your hand to it, and then you get to draw a card, and that attachment is, of course, through an ability, which means that is an extra attachment, not your attachment for turn. You can also, that's how you can attach 2 energy using Ogerpon, using its ability, and you're drawing a card. It's good draw, and it really synergizes so well with Venusaur's ability being able to move that grass energy around, because you're just going to be working with extra grass energy attached to the Ogerpons. It's great. Now, Ogerpon is a Terra Pokemon, which means you can also run Area 0 in the deck if you want to add more to it, because I've seen some deck lists that also feature Toadscruel and stuff. So Toadscruel, there is the single prize Toadscruel that is it's not allowing your opponent to get items back from the discard thanks to trainer cards or abilities and stuff, I believe, but the trainer card thing is big. This is a big blow to Goldango, not getting able to get superior anti-retrieval usage. This is a big blow even to Raging Bolt, not letting Sada get stuff back, because trainer cards is not just item cards, it is also trainer cards like supporter cards. And so those matchups, you could consider the Toadscruel, because our meta is full of, you know, Raging Bolt is in the meta, Goldango's in the meta, stuff like that. That's why this is going to be really nice for that. You might also consider the Toadscruel EX, which is gaining popularity as well, and it's already in its own little deck with the Ogerpon and stuff. I think we're getting more grass support, and we're going to be seeing more grass dominance, which is kind of exciting, because we don't really, it feels like it's been a while since grass dominance in the TCG. I don't know if we're going to have total dominance, but you know what I mean? It's going to be, like, kind of rising. I'm excited for the grass decks. Another grass, like, thing coming is this, like, Meganium line. So, and this thing has Chikorita into Bayleaf into Meganium with a cool ability. Meganium's ability is actually one that lets you just have one grass energy attachment, like, be for 2 grass energy. So if I'm seeing it correctly and everything, this means that, you know, you can be using Jungle Dump for, like, 2 energy. You can just have, because it would count for 2 and then 2, and you would have the 4 energy cost with the 2 grass energy with Meganium out. Now, the Meganium effect doesn't stack, so, like, if you have multiple Meganium out, it's not going to be like, oh, now that I have 2 Meganium out, I have 1 grass energy, and it's actually counting for, like, 4. No, it's not like that, but, like, the only reason you would have 2 out is if your 1 gets knocked out. But that's the thing, is that I think that's why it's maybe not run so much, because it is kind of just there to be this quirky little additional grass thing, gimmick thing, you know? And so, like, Meganium's not really putting in other work other than that, but I don't know, it has that unique effect. I think it's just a niche little thing, but, like, really with the Venusaur deck, I think that going, like, Venusaur using Teal Mask Ogerpon, and then using maybe the Toads is, like, the way we're going to be seeing things, but I could be wrong. This is still early on, and so that's why it's exciting to look at this stuff, to kind of see how people are building stuff and how people are trying stuff out, and me too. I'm having a lot of fun testing out Venusaur and stuff. Mega Venusaur, it's really fun, along with the Lucario, Mega Lucario, and then we're going to be doing more and more as the set gets closer to us. But yeah, it's really exciting to watch. It's really exciting to see how we can make this work and see how grass dominance can maybe come back. We'll see. But I'm loving it. So what else can you be running in your Venusaur deck that we're seeing? Well, we're gonna be seeing also the new supporter is Lily's Determination. Lily's Determination is a supported card that is most useful early on when you still have 6 prizes, because it's a card that lets you go ahead and shuffle your hand into your deck and you draw cards, but if you have 6 prize cards remaining still, you get to draw 8 rather than, like, 6. You get to draw 8 cards, which is a lot, and those 8 cards consist of things to help find your grass Pokemon and things, like your bug hedging set, which is going to be really useful. Any grass deck that's primarily grass and a lot of energy is going to be utilizing maybe some bug catching set. I really like the card because you're able to go ahead and not only find your grass Pokemon out of a top 7 search, but you're also looking for your grass energy. Now, with the grass energy in this deck, I do have to say that when I was initially testing, I think I had a little too little grass energy, and you will want a lot of grass energy for this to have your Ogerpons be constantly being replenished and used. When I was playing it with like a little Meganium thing, I think I only had like 8 or so energy, but I'm seeing lists that have like 10, 11, stuff like that. I think is a better number to be able to find stuff. And like I said, because Ogerpon's going to be holding a lot of it, and then you're going to be wanting a lot as well around, and you're probably going to need like a Super Rod or Superior Energy Retrieval, because your Pokemon will probably get knocked out, and they might have a lot of energy on them, and then you have to like get that energy back in, and that's fine though. I can't wait to also try this out with other grass Pokemon, like Hydrapple. Not saying it's going to be like better than our Ogerpon combination. We'll probably have like 2 Ogerpon still, but you know, we're going to try and squeeze in more grass guys, just try stuff out. But that is going to be important. The grass energy will be. And then also your Venusaur and stuff. I think we already mentioned before how we don't need rare candy and stuff. We are actually going to be valuing our middle stage Ivysaur greatly because we need to get to that via the stadium. We're going to be needing to have Ivysaur in the deck so that like more than like 2. I think I originally printed out like 2 proxies. Need to print out another like 2, but having like 3 Ivysaur are gonna be the way to go. Bulbasaur into Ivysaur and then Venusaur right back to back off the thing via the stadium if you have the stadium in play, and that's gonna help. You're gonna have to have your Ivysaurs around for that. So that's important, and that is a difference. And I only point this stuff out because I do think it's interesting when we get to see the different, like, deck building things or, like, the shakeups, because as you know, for the longest time, we have, well, even still, with non-grass decks, because they don't have access to the stadium, we're still gonna be needing, like, you know, TM Evolution is common, Rare Candy's common, to kind of skip through the middle stage, or to evolve into the middle stage as quickly as possible, and then get to the last stage. But with this grass stadium, it's going to be really cool to see the chance to just evolve just really fast, really back-to-back. It's going to be really powerful, I think. And so, Mega Venusaur, things are lining up for Mega Venusaur, I think. And as for A-Spec, like I said, you can definitely try other A-Specs, but one is kind of the meme of, like, the Hero's Cape plus 100 HP, making this thing a giant thing. And then the heal just feels so bad for your opponent, maybe. They're trying to take down this behemoth, and you can just use Wally if you're, you know, set up on the turn to use your supporter for this. That might be really key. Now, one thing also is that Mega Venusaur has a huge retreat cost and stuff, and mobility is kind of, not a great thing here going on, but like we can always run stuff to make things easier. I have seen like a 1 of Air Balloon maybe. I've also seen the big balloon card that's not Air Balloon, just a bigger balloon that I think makes the retreat cost on your stage 2 like 0, and so that's something. I think Heavy Baton would also work because it works with Pokemon with 4 retreat cost, but we don't really have, we can do that and move energy onto another Venusaur or somewhere else, or our Ogerpon, but like it's not like a huge priority. I think like just if you want mobility, maybe like an Air Balloon and or maybe one of the big balloon is something. I still have to try out more and more, but yeah, this video is just kind of the first beginnings and what we're seeing so far with the grass deck, the new grass deck, the Mega Venusaur deck. So cool, so cool. Also, if you don't know Venusaur's Japanese name, his name is Fushigibana. So Fushigi is like strange and stuff, and like Hana is flower, and it's a play kind of on that. Fushigibana. Alright, I think that's about all for now for Venusaur, Mega Venusaur, I should say, or Mega Fushigibana. That is going to be a beast, and I think we're going to have more stuff coming out, but hopefully you enjoyed this. I would love to hear your thoughts as well on the grass incoming. If you're going to play this deck, if you have thoughts, ideas already, if you have anything I forgot to cover, just anything you want to tell me down below would be awesome. It really helps the algorithm and stuff too, but I also just love hearing from you guys a lot, and I think it helps other players and people as well, so don't hesitate. So thank you again for watching and commenting and all that. Thank you so much for liking the video, whatnot, just to get this spread out more so we can do more stuff. I'm gonna be doing more on the different Mega Pokemon coming and the next set and stuff, as well as other happenings in the TCG, and hopefully you can stick around for it. So thank you again for watching and everything, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!